NFL Hall of Famer and Georgia native Shannon Sharpe is now facing a $50 million civil lawsuit. He's accused of emotional abuse by a woman he met in 2023.
This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right.
So now he's stepping away from his TV duties, but his case is what's trending in true crime.
You thought you knew Shannon Sharpe, the Hall of Famer, the TV superstar, the uncensored king of sports commentary. Well, think again, because after this, you'll never look at him the same way again.
And it's not looking good for the boy Shay Shay.
Shannon Sharpe, who once commanded daytime sports talk with his characteristic swagger, is now trapped in a tempest even he couldn't avoid. A jaw-dropping $50 million zero-cents lawsuit suddenly struck him like a freight train.
Shannon Sharpe is facing a new lawsuit, accused of multiple instances of assault, and battery.
So is this the stunning end to one of sports media's greatest icons? Or was this demise inscribed in the stars all along? Either way, one thing's for sure, this is not the Shannon Sharpe the world thought they knew. And after today, it could well be goodbye forever. It all began with what appeared like another typical week in the world of sports media. Shannon Sharpe slinging punches, dropping takes, and enjoying his best life on ESPN. But behind the scenes, a ticking time bomb was poised to burst. And when it did, it rocked everything. Out of nowhere, a $50 million zero-cents lawsuit appeared at Shannon's doorstep, filed by a lady making significant charges.
A new legal war has begun, and this time it's between NFL Hall of Famer, podcaster, commentator Shannon Sharpe and the woman who's accusing him of sexually assaulting and her.
What began as murmurs surrounding an inadvertent Instagram stream has developed into a major civil action, with essay claims, leaked footage, and a public legal back and forth. If you've been puzzled trying to put it all together, don't worry, we've got you. A woman going by Jane Doe in the complaint filed Sunday in Clark County, Nevada, alleges Sharpe attacked her twice, first in October 24 and again in January 25. She's also accusing him of creating mental anguish, stating he videotaped their encounters without her agreement and threatened to murder her during one of their confrontations. The action was filed in Las Vegas by an unidentified lady and her counsel. In the claim, Jane Doe alleges the former Denver Bronco and podcast host of, quote, manipulating and dominating her. According to the complaint, things between them turned heated as Sharpe's rage got worse. Anytime she called him out for cheating or questioned what he was up to, he'd erupt. What began off as manipulation and intimidation escalated into something considerably more harmful. She also alleges Sharpe somehow discovered out how to enter into her apartment building without her permission. Sharpe erupted into bouts of wrath when Plain acknowledged his disloyalty to their relationship or called him out about his extraneous activities. The complaint alleged what had formerly been manipulation, control, and intimidation now becomes something much more frightening and diabolical. Sharpe even worked out how to enter into Doe's apartment complex without her authorization. Now, the most kicking element of this case is that the victim's lawyer is Tony Buzbee. And this name received a lot of notoriety since this was the largest name in Diddy's case, and he even launched a lawsuit against Jay-Z. And we all know how the situation became awful for Diddy and Jay-Z.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names.
But Sharpe's legal team is hitting back. His attorneys are refuting all the charges made by his ex-girlfriend, who's accusing him of SA and claimed he threatened to destroy her if she ever came out about what occurred. It's civil. The notion is that is a polite, nice type of approach of addressing our issues.
It's civil. The idea is it is a civil, friendly sort of way of resolving our disputes. We don't show up at someone's house with a shotgun.
Buzbee announced the filing in a public statement on Friday morning. Late last night, the Buzbee legal firm filed a civil action on behalf of a courageous young lady who believes she was severely SA'd by former NFL player Shannon Sharpe on many occasions, Buzbee wrote. The complaint seeks $50 million, 0 cents in damages. According to the complaint, Jane Doe says that Sharpe regularly threatened to strangle and slap her, and that he used his standing and power to manipulate and silence her. Busby added that the entire specifics of the case, which he regarded as egregious and worrisome, are accessible in the public file.
If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you.
According to the claim, Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid-50s. She added in the documents, during their first contact, Sharpe told her he would purchase her artificial private parts if she won a weight reduction competition with him. It takes a tremendous lot of guts to speak out against individuals with power, celebrity, and money, Busby noted. I look forward to pushing this matter in court. Plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone, just in case, the docs state. But Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, "If you ever do that again, I will FQ." The two nevertheless continued the relationship, even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. However, Doe states in her suit she attempted to break things off after his infamous Instagram live streaming incident, which she said led to him effing her. Now the situation is heated, and the woman and her lawyer, Tony Busby, claimed that they have a videotape which shows Shannon S., the young woman, and now details of the alleged attack have been released. The suit describes an October 24 incident during which Sharpe allegedly forced the plaintiff into a car and took her to her apartment. The plaintiff alleges that Sharpe then forced her to perform physical activity before her. The lawsuit suggests that Shannon was particularly interested in forced physical activity.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yeah, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Sharpe grabbed her head, forcing her to look at him as she sobbed, the lawsuit claims. He said at that point, "Look at this, look at my arm. I've got chills." That's how good this is. In January 25, the plaintiff claims that Sharpe asked to come to her apartment to give her a combined Christmas and birthday present. Once there, the plaintiff alleges in the complaint that he again saved her and refused to wear protection. Shannon Sharpe, in his defense, released text messages sent between the two, where Shannon prompted the white woman to make racially charged graphic statements. Not only this, sources claim that Shannon Sharpe is calling for the full 10-minute video of the incident at the center of his SA allegation to be released to the public. Sharpe says Busby will soon release an edited clip, but he wants everything revealed to the public. He also states that he would release the tape himself if he had it in his possession. I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of an S-tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine, Sharpe said. That video should really be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of publishing your cut, put the complete video out. I don't have it, or I would myself.
Who was targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
And on the very next moment, the young woman released the tapes that literally shook the media and Shannon's fans as well. He released audio of a phone call between them where the sportscaster allegedly threatened to choke her. "Don't manipulate me, Jane Doe," tells Shannon at one point during the call. He responds, "If you say that one more time, I'm going to fucking choke the S out of you, hang up on you." Because what is it? What does that even mean? Nothing. Gabby, you want to be a D to me now? So
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
TMZ has received an audio tape from attorney Busby of Shannon Sharpe threatening to strangle his accuser. In a statement to the press, Sharpe's lawyer stated the statements were merely role play and that Sharpe wasn't being serious. I haven't gotten official confirmation from Sharpe or his team about whether the tape's real, but there's no reason to think it's fake, added Davis. From what I hear, it occurred during a heated dispute, and he uttered such things in the moment he didn't truly mean them literally. What's really caught people's attention recently is a public statement from Sharpe's lawyer, Lanny Davis. He stated that at one time, a cash settlement was on the table. According to Davis, Sharpe offered a rather significant compensation, perhaps close to $10 million, 0 cents, to settle matters privately before it ever went into a lawsuit. But the lady turned it down, apparently because she wanted even more money.
Sharpe, during efforts to settle the case before the lawsuit was filed, offered tens of millions of dollars to the plaintiff.
Still, Sharpe and his team are holding fast, arguing the negotiations about a settlement weren't an admission of guilt, only an effort to avoid a protracted, unpleasant public struggle. We completely reject these false claims, Sharpe's lawyer, Lanny Davis, said in a statement, adding that they were just trying to protect Sharpe's family and his career.
You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media.
Meanwhile, attorney Tony Busby, who's representing the woman, fired back. He stressed how serious the accusations are and praised her for having the guts to come forward. This lawsuit is about holding people accountable, no matter how famous they are, Busby told reporters. As the case heats up, public interest is only getting bigger. Social media is packed with people debating every little detail. But legal experts are warning everyone to slow down. They point out that settlement talks happen all the time in civil cases and don't automatically mean someone's guilty or innocent. Now, things just got even more intense. Tony Busby dropped some new text messages that he says came right after the alleged assault. According to the woman, Sharpe brutally assaulted her without using protection. In the messages, she texted him about what happened, and Sharpe reportedly replied, "Can I call you later?" Response exposing the identity of the complainant.
Response revealing the name of the accuser and some very X-rated text messages he says he received from her.
The revelation spread like wildfire, blindsiding fans, critics, and even some of Shannon's closest pals. Suddenly, the guy who spent years establishing an unassailable reputation as the boisterous, loving, no-nonsense truth-teller was suddenly the headline for all the wrong reasons. And just like that, Shannon was banned from ESPN. Media Takeout has discovered that ESPN is placing Shannon on the bench from First Take for now, as they straighten things out behind the scenes. The network officials appear less interested on whether he's guilty or innocent, and more anxious about the diversion all of this is producing. Shannon Sharpe has finally gone away from ESPN. ESPN managers apparently told key staff members of First Take about the relocation, according to Media Takeout. To make matters more stranger, this comes exactly as Shannon was supposedly on the cusp of locking down a major new agreement for his Club Shay podcast empire. Now that agreement might be placed on hold, or maybe even off the table completely. Sharpe indicated in a statement that he will return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. The first preseason game is planned for July 30th. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me, Sharpe said, adding, "I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues." People started asking, was this really about the lawsuit? Or was it just the final nail in a coffin that had been building for a while? Because truth be told, Shannon Sharpe has been playing with fire for a long time, and this time he got burned. And if you remember, this is not the first time a woman accused Shannon Sharpe. Yes, those who don't know, a woman sued Shannon Sharpe for alleged defamation, also alleged in the complaint that the NFL Hall of Famer sacked her in 2010. Michelle Evans filed suit against Sharpe in New York in 2003, nearly 2 years before this Nevada lawsuit. Evans claimed that she had been in a relationship with Sharpe for nearly a decade, ending in 2010 when she said they got in an argument over his alleged infidelity. Evans alleges Sharpe then requested that the two have S, and that she refused. The defendant proceeded to forcefully subdue me, compelling me to my knees and subsequently engaging in non-consensual oral penetration, the complaint alleges. Despite my protests, he persisted in this violation. Evans further claims the assault continued beyond the alleged forcible physical activity. Thereafter, Shannon's coercion escalated as he maneuvered me onto the bed and achieved non-consensual penetration, all the while proclaiming his intent to make it so no other man would want me, Evans alleged. Though Evans is not suing Sharpe for SA, she claims he threatened to ruin her reputation and that the ensuing media commentary was rife with defamatory commentary assailing my professional reputation. A representative for Sharpe denied Evans's allegation. Michelle Evans's claims are ridiculous and completely without merit, the representative reportedly said. The proceedings in Evans's civil case are still ongoing, though a judge did deny her request for an order of protection. In a statement, Mitchell Schuster, an attorney for Sharpe, wrote, in part, "It should be of no surprise that when someone famous is in the news, all sorts of people crawl out of the woodwork to share their connection to that person in an attempt to profit from that alleged relationship. In many situations, the allegations or charges are nothing more than old news, creative exaggerations, or occasionally outright misrepresentations of reality. They are disseminated on social media or provided to reporters with purposeful, factual omissions and little respect for the truth. This is definitely deliberate, aiming to establish a manufactured story. This is precisely what is occurring to Shannon Sharpe, and the resuscitation of the case involving Michelle Evans is a prime illustration. The statement says, when she could not find a lawyer to pursue her ridiculous claim, she filed a civil lawsuit on her own that is utterly devoid of substance. The reality is that Shannon has had no touch with this guy for many years. Later, the statement said, bottom line, Shannon has done nothing wrong and plans to fight back against these nasty falsehoods, not with fabricated defenses or fictitious tales, but with actual proof and genuine evidence. But the actual tea we're drinking is all about the why and the what now. It's honestly amazing to imagine someone as prominent and established as Shannon Sharpe could get caught up in a career-threatening tangle like this, and over a romance no less. Adding the fact that the lady is apparently incredibly young, and that just puts the entire scenario to a whole new level of, wait, what? The lady claims it started as a consensual relationship when she was 20 years old. Sharpe, via his counsel, disputed all those charges. The internet, bless its crazy heart, has been non-stop with receipts and views on the women involved. Let's be honest, the remarks about her beauty and those exercise videos, yeah, it's been a lot. Classic internet behavior, zero chill. It definitely makes you think about the dangers individuals take, particularly when they're in the public glare. To perhaps toss away a large job and financial stability over all this, it's honestly a head-scratcher. What was the thinking process here? What was the dynamic like? We're probably never going to know the complete tale, but it's impossible not to wonder. Now, the major issue is, where does Shannon go from here? Can he even come back from something like this, both legally and in terms of his reputation? The podcast world is huge, but so is the court of public opinion. We all know that Shannon Sharpe's podcast, Club Shay, has been blowing up ever since the interview with Cat Williams. But it's hardly the only interview that blew. He has done numerous incendiary interviews this year alone, and let's just say that certain persons in the business are not like this one bit. That's what Cat Williams has to say about him. And that's because these interviews have disclosed a lot of secrets about some of the industry's biggest personalities, including Diddy, Oprah, and Tyler Perry. Shannon was really going after them and exposing how they've attempted not just to stop his program, but also to damage his life for refusing to take down interviews after they asked it. Shannon's saying he's got more information on these guys and he's ready to spill it if they don't back down. Y'all best pay attention because Shannon means business. He just came down for an interview and gave out all the dirt about the celebs attempting to shut down his program and ruin him. He had a talk with Cam Newton and discussed why celebs feel comfortable enough to divulge all their secrets on his podcast. Shannon added that before every interview, he makes it obvious to his famous guests that they don't have to speak about particular issues if they don't want to, which makes them comfortable enough to share their own narrative. In his latest interview, Shannon addressed the criticism from people who think he is not a true journalist. He stated that he has never considered himself a journalist. For those who may not be aware with him, Shannon is a very accomplished former NFL player who was elected into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2011. Following his football career, he worked as a sports pundit for numerous years. In 2020, amid the epidemic, he began his podcast, Club Shay. Although the podcast originally had good audience, it burst in popularity with the Cat Williams interview, which currently has over 70 million views and is the most viewed episode on Club Shay. But there is only another perspective to the tale, that maybe those celebs who were humiliated in his program are just aiming to crush him down. But with this new lawsuit, the instructions are being modified and things are becoming very sticky for Shannon. And just now, the jury on Twitter and TikTok, definitely still out. It's a complex issue with loads of unresolved questions. But one thing's for sure, this is a cautionary story about negotiating relationships, particularly when you're in the limelight. What do you think about all of this? What do you think about all of this? Surprised? Shocked? Only time will tell.